Alright, so to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to go on. Let me see if I can get this cord to behave here. Okay. Alright. So what I'm going to do, I'm using a very thin. Now some of them are thin threads and some of them are thick threads. As you can see, this is a thicker thread and this is a thinner thread. So what I do is the thin threads, I will possibly use the thick blue, okay? Especially if it's a dark color like the purple. Alright, if it's a dark color, excuse me, like the purple, let me get one of the purple ones here. Okay, sometimes that won't show up if I use a thin blue. So I'll use a thick blue so that blue can show up very well. So with the red, we might not have too much of a problem, but since I have thin red, I'm going to use a thick blue. Now I'm going to cut about 6 strips, about 6 21 inches of this beautiful red. And as you can see, I'm not doing it perfect measurements here. But it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to trim away a little bit if you'd like. Sometimes I don't trim at the end. Okay, so about 6, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's 6. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, so that's my colored thread. You know, I like to say colored. It can be any color. But the required is the blue. And so I'm going to add 1 cord of blue within my threads. Now, I'm going to take this up, alright, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it even, and then I'm going to put a knot at the top. Now, many people may not do this, but I like to do it because it keeps it together and it's easier to deal with later. So that initial little knot right at the fold, okay? Then you're going to make what is a little loop. You're going to make a loop. Alright? And as you can see, you have your knot, your initial knot, and then you have another knot which makes a loop. Okay? Now, I'm gonna hold this down with my clip so that when I braid it or twist it, it's not gonna slip on me. Hopefully my Ish is getting that shot. And basically what I do, I'm gonna show you the knotted version, the simple knots, okay? And I'm going to divide it into 2 halves, as you can see there. I have a blue cord on each one of the halves. Sometimes you can have the blue cord on one side, both of the cords on one side, but I usually just have blue on one side and blue on the other. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just begin to wrap it around and knot it as if you were tying your shoe. Okay, that initial little knot that you make when you tie your shoe. Do this for about maybe 4 or 5 times, and then I'm going to show you something. The cord that you've wrapped, of course, is going to get shorter than the other cord, the other side of the cords. So now you're going to switch up and you're going to wrap the long side around the short side. Okay, maybe about 4 or 5 times, okay? And then you're going to check it again. As you can see, they're pretty much the same length here. And so that's when you're going to go back and you're just going to alternate, okay? If one gets shorter than the other, like this, then you're going to switch up and you're going to take your long cord and finish it off. Whenever you get about, I'll say, 3 inches down, you want to stop, okay? Because you want those fringes to be definitely evident in your tzitzit, as you can see. And like I said, if you want to trim, you can. You don't have to. If you want to trim the bottom. Sometimes I leave it there because I like to have a little definition, a little play in my tzitzit. Okay? And so that is one tzitzit. Okay? Alright, now I'm going to use a thicker cord and show you. I'm going to use this pretty pink color. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to measure it, and I'm using my trusty little table measurement here. And all I need with the thicker cord is 3 cuts. Before I had 6 cuts. But with this thicker thread, you're just going to need about 3 cuts here, because it's nice and thick. And it has a lot of definition in it, so you don't need a whole lot of this. Alright, as you can see, I have that there. And now, so with my thick thread, of course I'm going to use the same thickness as close as I can get to my blue, or my chocolate. See, this is always required now. If you make it without the blue thread, then it's not according to scripture. Alright, same thing. You want to knot it in the middle. This is what I do. This helps me deal with my tzitzits a lot better, and not try to fumble and pin them on my clothes and whatnot. This little initial knot really helps out, believe me. Okay, then you take that and you're going to loop it again. Okay, you might hear my kids playing in the background. I told them to be quiet, but you know how that is. As you can see, I got a loop. Beautiful little loop there. And that's going to help your pin stay in place. Okay, you know. So you're going to take the pin and you're going to pin it on your garment, or underneath your garment, so that the pin won't show. Okay, we're going to clamp it down. And all of these supplies, you know, you can find at your craft store. And as you can see, the little sales sticker on there, you can find these. A lot of times you can find these little threads on sale quite often. So I just kind of grab up a whole bunch of them when I'm going in and I see that they're on sale. Okay. Alright, switch it up, because as you can see, one has become shorter than the other. So I'm going to take the long one now and begin to wrap around the short one. Okay. And then I'm going to see what I come out with. I like this table because it's light and it shows what I'm doing better. Okay? See that? Okay, now that I got them equal again, I'm just going to alternate back and forth. 1, 2, 3, you know, and then 1, 2, 3 again. Okay? Take my longer one and twist it around. I hope I'm not going too fast. Hopefully you can get the idea of it all. Okay? And see, there's a few little ones longer than the other ones, but that's okay. That adds the beauty to it. Okay, and there you have a pink one.